Pro-life advocates are celebrating the passage of a Tennessee bill that protects unborn babies as soon as their heartbeat is detected. In a show of support, Republican Governor Bill Lee, who has promised to sign the measure, tweeted, "One of the most important things we can do to be pro-family is to protect the rights of the most vulnerable in our state, and there is none more vulnerable than the unborn." Joining me now on Skype to talk more about this legislation is Sue Liebel, State Policy Director for the Susan B. Anthony list. Sue, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So in addition to banning abortions once a baby's heartbeat is detected, what else is covered in this bill?
Well, you know, this Tennessee's groundbreaking new law includes a lot of the strongest protections in the nation for unborn children and their mothers. So heartbeat, like you mentioned, it also protects babies in the womb from lethal discrimination, for example, for sex, race, or disability. And it also ends late-term abortions after 5 months when babies can feel the excruciating pain. It's just the latest proof of a growing nationwide momentum to humanize our laws and challenge the radical status quo imposed by Roe versus Wade.
Sue, can you talk a little bit more about the significance of including language in the bill regarding banning discriminatory abortions based on sex and race, and also protecting unborn babies diagnosed with Down syndrome?
That's right. That's right. Yes, we're starting to see it's starting to become a trend. We're very pleased that Governor Lee and his vision and the legislators added this to the bill. The Indiana law went before the United States Supreme Court. And while they didn't hear the bill because it was the first they'd heard of it, they were waiting for more things to percolate up through the rest of the country. But Justice Thomas wrote an opinion, or a commentary, I should say, that talked about the eugenics of that. It talked about the slippery slope from abortion to eugenics. So we think that's kind of left the door open for future discussion by the United States Supreme Court, and that's exactly what this does.
What kind of mandate does the bill place on physicians who perform abortions?
Well, this is also a strikingly specific bill that I'm reading and teasing out. The requirements on doctors are pretty strong here. Obviously, heartbeat is the time if the doctor can hear a heartbeat, he cannot do an abortion, and if he does or she after that, that would be a Class C felony. If we're getting closer to viability and the baby could potentially survive outside the womb, if it were an emergency, only in an emergency, he would have to have admitting privileges at a nearby hospital and also a second doctor to be present. Should that baby survive, the second doctor would become the baby's advocate and provide emergency health care to the baby. He also has to certify in writing why it was an emergency, what type of abortion method they chose and why. And then finally, something I think we'll see more of in the future, very groundbreaking. If the doctor is charged with the violation, it also has to be reported to the Medical Licensing Board within 7 days. That ties in not only the legal underpinning, but also his license could be threatened. And that's important.
Yeah, so we only have a couple of seconds left, but I want to get this last question in. There have been reports that pro-abortion groups are planning legal challenges. Can you talk more about that?
Sure. They challenge everything, so that's not a surprise. Fortunately, we have some bills in other state circuits, federal circuits. The Sixth Circuit is looking at the Ohio bill right now. The Eighth Circuit is looking at the Missouri and the Arkansas bill right now. Mississippi just last week passed this. They would be in the Fifth Circuit if that would be. So just what the Supreme Court was kind of waiting for, they don't just take a case. They wait till there's some percolation throughout the country, maybe get a circuit split, a split decision. Yes here, no there. Then it goes up to the Supreme Court. So it all works together, the momentum for saving more lives and stopping discrimination.
Well, Sue, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate your time. Sue Liebel, State Policy Director for the Susan B. Anthony list. Thank you again.
Thank you.